What's up, digital world? It's win rate 0%. I am your host, Adam, and with me are the other hosts. We've got Cobb.
What's going on, guys? Cobb here, ready for some digital monster trading card game.
Yeah, and we've got Jason.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason. How are we doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I'm ready to talk about cards.
Yeah, let's talk about some cards. So this is win rate 0%. We're a new Scottish Digimon TCG podcast, bringing you like bi-monthly videos and podcasts about like the new sets and tournament discussions and anything that we can think of that will provide us with a little bit of serotonin, really. Let's crack off and get started with EX3.
Oh, yes. It seems like a very pog set, I'm just saying.
I am looking forward
to it. It definitely does.
Can't wait to put my Seedramons into play.
Yes, and the D-Brigade are finally getting some reasons to evolve up the stack.
And I'm getting the Hydramon, which we will all talk about all of these very soon.
Very true.
EX3, what's coming out in it? So I've got the details here. So they've upped the price again, so it's now £4.20, I believe, per pack. But with that, you get some more stuff. So there's 26 commons, 20 uncommons, 18 rares, 8 supers, and 2 secrets. And then each booster box has 24 packs, and I believe that the pool rates that were revealed, where you get 8 alternates, woof. You get you get 8 super rares and 3 alternates with a chance of a secret rare, which is pretty good for a very small set, to be fair.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like they've definitely like picked it up since like EX1.
Yeah,
because EX1 was a shamble.
Yeah, and also
it was ass.
Also, all the alt arts were boring and unplayable because the apart from Ice Wall, I can't name another good card out of that. Apart from Analog Youth and Ice Wall, and that was it.
Machine
Dramon, you're not wrong.
Was good for about 2 sets, and now it might be coming back.
Yeah.
There was the Metal Garurumon as well. Can't forget about that one.
Yeah.
That's seen a lot of play recently.
It has helped the Metal Garurumon X deck. That's right.
100%.
And because it's Christmas, Digimon have come out with like a gift box each year, which is actually quite cool, to be fair. In this gift box, you get 5 packs of EX3. You get one, it's called an acrylic sheet, but essentially on the acrylic sheet, it's got like plus 1k DP, plus 2k, plus 3k, and then it's got like jamming, like a bunch of the different things you can get on your cards, which is really
actually
cool.
Quite good, eh? Yeah. There's been a lot of Etsy shops and stuff making these things for a while, so I can't help but feel like they've just went, holy crap, we could be selling people.
Yeah, we could capitalise on this. Fuck the tiny people.
But it is good stuff to actually have in the box, you know, because, I mean, like, some of the stuff I've had before, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of thought like the Digivice memory markers they did last year were quite ass.
I liked the concept, but they were far too big. I thought they were going to be, like, much smaller to just cover a number, but not, like, the big chunky thing that came out.
See those figures you're talking about? The figures you were talking about as well, Jason, like, I don't know if you know this, but so everybody listening at home, they've had figures for one of the original Digimon Adventure rookies. Yeah. It's like they called it a memory marker, right? But I have inside information that they actually just packaged in figures they had already made into the box and called memory markers.
Yeah, they are very similar. They are very, very similar to the products that you can find in like anime shops and stuff that are just like the little figurines. They are the exact same. So, I mean, fair play. They're reusing assets, I suppose. You also get a memory gauge. So there's a blue one which has Strabimon, Impmon, Wormmon, and Gabumon on it, and there's the red one which has Flamemon, Gilmon, a Vmon and a Agumon. Don't know why Vmon is on the red one, but it's because of the new set, isn't it? Because of the Imperial
He's
Dramon
getting a red card, baby.
And then one of 4...
He's also kind of a dragon.
Yeah, and then one of 4 promotional cards, which we've already seen. The Were Garurumon promo, which is nice they've reprinted it because it's a bit hard to get.
Was needed.
The Strongest Agumon promo, the +2k one, which is also pretty cool. They've reprinted the promo Diaboromon for the 85th time. And
I don't understand
and the Sunarizamon promo, the security attack +1/1, which they already distributed a while ago, but it's good that it's still a great black rookie, so I'm quite
it's
happy.
just generic.
I'm still questioning the Diaboromon, but he's got to be got to be filled in somehow, I guess.
So see for the Diaboromon, I'm just expecting, like, they're pushing Diaboromon so much that they must be bringing some.
I think there's a starter deck on the way. I think they're going to do a Diaboromon starter deck.
Well, like ex-antibody style, like what they've done with like the Beelmon.
Yeah, because we've got Beelzemon coming out soon, but they've not really announced anything after that. So I'm thinking we're going to get another double, because like the starter deck Beelzemon is great, and it's going to have a lot of reprint of alt arts, which is super cool. But it's also going to be like 20 quid each or something like that.
Yeah, they're going to be
it's like its
crazy.
own product, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like a premium deck. Like, it's all singing, all dancing.
Part of the appeal of the starter decks is that because they released 2, it's almost like they're battling each other sort of thing. So I'd kind of like to see another one come out at the same time.
Well, I do know that obviously when the starter decks come out, they're doing a kind of like a starter deck tournament kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's just like you only play purple for it or something like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think it was that.
The winner of it gets like a stamped Beelzemon or Impmon or something, and it's going to be worth a fair chunk of money.
I was going to say, that's going to be dear.
Yeah.
Everybody will absolutely pay a lot for Beelzemon.
Cool, like a genuine cool concept, because like you don't normally go into a tournament going, you always go in and go, I wonder what's going to be like really, really good to go in, and then you just go in and you've got all these different colours. Well, this one's just purple, which is
forcing
really
your
kind of
hand into something that, like, if you're like me and you just play one colour, like I've played black since I started the game, you're going to go in completely out of your comfort zone. Like, what the hell's going on?
You can't really play Three Muskets at full power in it as well. Like, I know a lot of people thought like Three Muskets might be the way, like Beelstar and that, but because like a lot of that support is like not just purple, it's red, black, all that kind of stuff, and then obviously people have been chucking in the blue engine as well. So like
every man and his dog's going to be playing Beelzemon though, like that. For a fact that's going to everybody's going to be on it, and that's going to be the strongest purple deck when that releases as well.
Might see a bit.
I still think
Minerva as well.
Yeah, I'll be those two just going at it. Comparatively though, I'm like, whoa, got to be Beelzemon all the way. But I would imagine Minerva would still see play at it. I just think everybody will be like, it's literally going to be like the Beelzemon mirror tournament.
But it should be interesting, at least to watch.
Cool.
And then they and then they will ignore us and just launch the deck with no tournaments.
Yeah, we love that.
We'd love that.
Well, I mean, I already know that we're getting it over in the UK.
Yeah,
so.
we are getting it, but whether the tournaments come with it, because Japan's a best of one format as well. It's unlikely they'll do more, but we never know.
This is true. Hopefully they do, because it's such a sick concept that I feel like they can definitely keep doing it.
They could do it store championship wise. So
anyway, promo Diaboromon's getting reprinted, guys.
Yeah, so if in case you didn't have one already, I've got like because obviously I judge and you get it in judge packs. I've got so many, and I sold a bunch of them, and I just keep getting more, and I don't need them. I've got my playset, and I never need any more. You only play one in the deck at most, though.
Yeah.
So like, I wish they would just make more Diaboromon stuff.
They definitely need to make like more support, because the deck's been very lackey since like EX1.
For sure.
You know for a fact they're gonna though, because he's fan favourite. Like, to me, it feels like the number one deck people are asking for support from what I've seen online.
Diaboromon,
I'm very surprised that they haven't introduced a Pokémon prior to this. I think it's coming out in BT12 or something like that. I think it was rumoured, but like a Pokémon was from one of the first films or something, wasn't it? Or was the end of
he was the final boss of Adventure 1.
Yeah. So it's very.
He's, the original.
He's definitely like he's a level 7. He's a level 7, but like, where is he? You'd think he would have come from somewhere.
I know. Well, he's like one of the most iconic Digimon for the OG series. Like, have you heard his dub lines?
Yeah, oh yes.
In Adventure 1. And he's like meant to be this dark embodiment of evil who's like so distressed that he's had to put up with all this darkness in the world. And then in the dub, they've got him talking about how he gets crusts on the pizza while everybody gets the tomato and cheese.
Yeah,
and then there's another bit where he's got like, so his design has like red and blue wires coming out of him. And he goes, I am the ultimate darkness, now equipped with hot and cold running water. It's like, shut up, man. You're the final boss of the first season,
yeah,
man.
But to be fair, it's a fucking kids anime. Like, now I've killed you all, but wait, the power of love has brought you back? What is the ultimate plot device? Don't forget to fall back on the power of love, guys, if you've written yourself into a corner.
Nothing.
Power of love always prevails, boys. Let's go.
Anyway, let's talk about EX3. So it's a fairly compact set from what we've been seeing. There's only 2 Digitama, which I think is a hate crime. There should always be at least one of every colour in every set.
I don't know, man. I really don't know, though, because almost every one they've printed, recent memory, is ass.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's like, okay. Every time, like, when are we going to get to the point where the power creep on the Digitamas is going to be unveiled? Because somebody needs to dethrone Upamon as the blue Digitama.
No!
If you want, if you want a side,
we need to get those Upamon alt arts to drop on the market. Like, they're sitting too high for too long.
If you want a side tangent, the Judge Pack, so for judging you get Judge Pack 1, which has a bunch of like judge stamped cards, and almost all of them are pretty good and sell really well, apart from Mega Digimon Fusion, because that's banned. But Judge Pack 2 has now been released, and you cannot imagine my disappointment that this is the pack that I'm going to be getting from now on for judging. It contains one at random of all of the Digitama from the starter decks. All of those suck.
That's so bad.
They're so bad. Like, I cannot name one Digitama from the starter eggs, from the starter decks that are played, apart from maybe Sunomon from the first blue starter deck. But other than that, nobody plays any of them. Like, why have they done this to me?
Well, the Ragnarlordmon, I'm pretty sure they still use
that's
it.
It's not included. It's just the first
10. Not included?
It's just the first 10, so it stops at Mastemon.
Oh, those are
Do you not want a shiny Koromon, Adam, that gives you 1k very, very conditionally compared to all the other eggs?
No.
To be fair, I still use the Mastemon starter deck egg in my Mastemon deck. I just like it. I think it's sick.
Fair.
Was it all the Digitamas from the starter decks? It's one, just like the original run?
It's one per pack, essentially, so it's one at random. But I cannot... I'd rather they just done regular, like, Digitama or something, but I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, that's kind of big L's, man.
But anyway...
Judge L. Another Judge L.
Judge L. But anyway, on to EX3. So what do we want to talk about first? We've got the red line. So it's kind of split in two. You've got the Vmon line, which leads up to the Imperial, and then you've got the sort of Dorbuckmon line, with also a Chaosdramon level 6 thrown in there for the Machine Dramon fans.
Can we just talk how amazing Chaosdramon is, by the way?
It's so good, right?
It's
sick.
Genuinely good for the deck, 100%.
Yeah, so for those that are listening, it digivolves one from Machine Dramon, and it's got on play and when digivolving by placing up to 3 red and or black level 5 cards with Cyborg in their traits and different card numbers from your hands or trash under this Digimon as its Digivolution cards. You get to de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for each card placed. You could potentially take a level 6 all the way right back down to a rookie. And it's then got the old Machine Dramon effect when if it would be deleted, you can trash 2 level 5s to stop it from being... stop it from leaving play.
So it's also if it is returned to your hand or deck as well, which is pretty nutty.
So it's pretty
that was
good.
Always the issue. Like Machine Dramon, whenever it went into the old Chaosdramon, it lost obviously that protection.
Yeah.
Most of the time you would go into maybe an Omnimon or something afterwards. but it always lost that protection, which was all people would always kind of sit there and go, "Is it worth it at that point?"
Yeah,
but
they go lol Megadeth, get right.
Yeah, the fact that it also just stops essentially it being returned like to hand or deck is really, really good. But it's still the deck that will still suffer to Chaos Degraded.
Yeah, and it still suffers from its lack of draw engine.
Yeah, the Hagurumon is like insane for the deck.
Yeah,
but it being a 4 already, and then that's 4 draws that you've got in the deck, and then you just don't see it.
So,
well, did you also know though they've actually printed a generic white Hagurumon with no condition now though?
Have they?
Yeah, so one of the new sister ones from the starter deck is just a 3 play cost that lets you trash anything in your hand and draw 2.
That's
so
true.
Just
that's
Hagurumon again.
Yeah, just on play, draw 2, trash 1, or trash 1, then draw 2, right?
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
Like, the biggest thing as well, like just like Jason said, you can still send it to the well, actually, yeah, no, it's just hand or deck. If it was, imagine it was security stack as well. I guess you can Congo
play
to play
Congo,
around it.
though. Yeah.
But you can also just de-digivolve it. So I mean, Dark Knight can do that just now. Everybody and their mum's running Death X Mon, so you can de-digivolve it as well. But at least it's not deleting the stack then. You just get de-digivolved to level 5, and you could even go into another Chaos Dramon.
But then again, you might just get de-digivolved back into the old Machine Dramon.
Yeah.
Which is
that's true as well. Yeah.
Not as strong, but it's still very strong.
I think in BT11, when Analog Man, etc. come out, that's probably going to give the deck the draw power it needs, but even then it's still conditional.
It's presenting itself to be like a really good deck in BT11 from what I've seen. Right now, it's like, to me, it seems like borderline competitive now. Like, I feel like Machine Dramon has actually got a lot of good matchups in the current format. So maybe this is what it needs. It just is like another nice control piece.
It just
it's also just nuts. Exactly, and it can also just run like, this is essentially just another 4 copies of Machine Dramon.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That are like a little bit worse to play from hand. So obviously a great dub for the Machine Dramon gods out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and for red as well, you've got the Dorbuck Mon, sort of I think it's called D-Links, if I'm not wrong. And it's basically, it's a Digicross level 6 that lets you get a level 6 out for a 3 cost, which is insane.
Yeah. It's so funny, man.
Nutty.
To me, this is the ultimate meme card that Digimon has ever printed. Like the ultimate ridiculous, funny high roll strat of just slipping like 5 million cards under it and getting a ridiculous amount of like inheritance for free.
Yeah, so it's
I don't think
Rush.
it's very practical though.
Yeah, it's got Rush, so like it's a 13 play cost, but you can Digicross 2 5 cards, so it's a 3 cost. And it's like it deletes one thing with 3k or less, and then for every Digivolution card and its stack that has Dragon, Soar, or Ceratopsian, or in English apparently just Dragon because they mistranslated it again, you add 2k to that DP effect, so it can go up to 13k,
13, right?
Which is pretty good. And then it swings, and it's got all of the inherited effects as well, which is really, really good. I'm really enjoying the, like, I know we can't show the card art, but if you look it up yourself, there's just a Cordramon in the background that looks like the Mike Wazowski meme, just standing there, and it's quite amusing.
You ain't wrong.
It's true.
I didn't even notice that with the back.
It's really funny, man. Like, he also looks like he's been... It looks like he's weirdly standing out in the art, as if like he's been drawn separately and then like photoshopped in.
Yeah, it does, right? Because like you can see, oh no, that's the Digimon Card Dev logo. Shout out to Digimon Card Dev for providing an actual card library as opposed to whatever Bandai offer.
Whoa, what are you talking about? The Bandai card list is so good. It's incredible. It's not slow or inconsistent at all.
Bandai, if you're listening to this, please reconsider TCG Plus. We're begging you. We're begging you.
Bro, every other card game has a better system than TCG Plus. Holy moly,
it's
man.
True.
Final Fantasy does.
We're at it.
you know
While
what?
we're at it, give us a goddamn print of the security rookies as well. I thought they were coming as box toppers.
Yeah, they are. They're coming in BT12, which is April, a year and a half after we were meant to get them.
They're not even used then. Let's go.
No! Anyway, what else have we got?
My favourite thing is when the Doraemon doesn't get printed and all the black decks for the last 2 sets would have ridiculously benefited from Doraemon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's such an L, man.
Yeah. What have we got? We've kind of got the Volcanic Dramon, but that's sort of the what is it called? The Earth Dragon Metallic Dramon sort of lineup that you play out from underneath the. Well, what is it?
Part of like Dragon Link.
Yeah.
Dragon Link.
Dragon Link. That's would make sense if that's what it stands for, or Digital Links or whatever.
I was going to say, I think it comes from a Digimon app that was out in the kind of mid-2010s.
Yeah.
I think it may have been called Digimon Links, so I think that's where the Dragon Link name comes from.
That makes a lot of sense. Jason, do you want to talk about Aegis Dramon?
Oh, of course I do, brother. Well, boys, have you heard of our Lord and Saviour? It's a big cyborg, believe it or not, which upsets me. It should be a sea animal, in my opinion. But pretty much the concept of this deck is essentially just spitting so much random stuff onto your board from Digisource, and then getting effects from that, etc. And it's it really pops off thanks to previous sets as well. So its effect is but obviously it's a big level 7, which makes it even spicier. When Digivolving, you may play 1 blue level 3 Digimon card or 1 Digimon card with Dramon in its name, or it just keeps going. Aquatic in its traits from one of your blue Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its costs. And then on your opponent's turn, once per turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon card, you may activate its when Digivolving effect. So essentially what it is, it's like a kind of control-y kind of deck. Because you can combo it off with the BT7 Gomamon, which is on play when it's played from Digivolution cards, draw 2. You have
you've got the new line, like the
freaking crab.
The level 4, when it spits out, gives something blocker, which is great.
That's you've got the big Crabmon, which I love. On play, one of your blue Digimon gains jamming. And then when played from Digivolution cards, you may place 1 blue level 5 or lower Digimon card from your hand underneath that Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, which is really, really cool. The deck itself is just absolutely huge.
It's very fun as well.
Don't get me wrong, it's going to do absolutely nothing in the meta. I will play it 100% of the time, right? But it's not going to do anything, and I'm honest about it.
I think it's going to be... I don't know about this set, but see next set, man, it's actually going to be quite good, I think. There's a lot of cards that you can get value from with the on-play.
Yeah.
And it continues to see support every set from the looks of things as well.
I don't know. I think you actually might be wrong, Jason. I think it's going to be decent, because think of all, Crossheart, Blue Flare, all of these, Commandramon, all of these on-play decks that as soon as they play one of their guys out, if you've got your Aegis out, you're just spitting shit out of them, and they're not able to do anything.
You're not wrong at this
Making
point.
blockers, drawing cards. It does seem like right now in EX3, I think it is closer towards your low tier 2 status. But I think next set, when it gets the extra Waru Seedramon and stuff like that, it's probably going to be quite cool.
Yeah, definitely. But I also want to bring up the fact that we're getting a kind of mini Hexablow support as well.
Yep.
And we've got wee level 3 Snow Agumon, which has got a really, really good inheritable of once per turn when an opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards would Digivolve, increase the Digivolution cost by 1. It just makes everything that little bit more costly, which can completely destroy people's kind of combos and stuff. Because let's be honest, on you go.
I was just gonna say, mate, it goes around one of the big issues Hexablow had before, which was you've got your Hexablow, it's their turn, they've got no sources. You're like, nah, you can't attack a block, and then they just go, haha, lol, evolve and attack, mate, get it round you. And then they might even end up passing turn now if they do that.
Yeah,
exactly. This just makes it like you're able to control the game more often now, and I find a lot of decks aren't maxing out as much as they probably could be with the memory tamers. So a lot of the times, if you start choking all these top tier decks, they start to struggle very huge, like a big huge struggle for them.
It's true.
Which I feel like
exactly
has a lot of potential. And then not only that, they also got the Cries Paildramon new level 5 as well, which was when Digivolving, trash any 2 Digivolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolutions cards can't attack or block until the end of the opponent's turn, which is really, really good. The fact that you get to choose the sources as well.
Yeah.
Because another problem with the reason, I personally think the reason the deck didn't do much, especially last format, was because the moment they put X antibody underneath it, it sort of it sort of just stopped the deck in the sense of you're only ever going to be able to trash one, if that, at max. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like the whole kind of like you get to choose what you're taking out the sources can be like very huge for the deck as well.
Yeah, I might also recommend other than like Howling Lemony boosts, this Paildramon level 5 is the only card the deck has that can actually stop someone from attacking or blocking without sources.
I believe so, yeah.
Because it's kind of like earlier as well, so it's almost like you get a mini Hexablow early, and then the turn after you go into the Hexablow and you're laughing.
Exactly, yeah. You've also got that chicken that came out in like BT, was it BT7? I think it came out.
What chicken?
I call it the chicken.
Cockatorimon, is it?
Something like that. What was it? You guys talk while I find this out.
So, how's the
chicken
weather?
Digimon that's blue. I don't know, man. It's absolutely Baltic up here, and it gets dark at 4:30.
Oh,
now, which is
it's so dire.
Stinking.
Find out this chicken. We need to know this chicken.
Cold. Look,
it's very cold, man.
I
don't know about a blue chicken. There's like the only chicken.
Are you talking about
you're not talking about Penguinmon, are you?
No, not Penguinmon. That's a penguin, not a chicken.
Yeah, but he's like a bird. He's like adjacent to the chicken.
Was it BT8 it came out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hexablow that was related to Hexablow though.
Aye.
Hold on a minute. Keep stalling, guys. I'm gonna go to the toilet.
What do you mean you're going to the toilet? This is not professional.
You heard me.
I found it.
He's found it.
Frost Velgramon.
That's not a chicken. That's a dragon.
That's not a chicken. It's literally his type is giant bird. It's a chicken.
Right, I can hear this going on. Frost Velgramon sucks ass.
Oh,
bro.
giant bird. Yeah, right. It's a
No.
big fucking ostrich or whatever.
It's a chicken.
Yeah, but if you evolve into that, you're not evolving into Hexablow.
Bro, the game's in a state where you can get like 10 things on the board at once.
It's
Look
true.
at fucking Bloomlord, man.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll be talking about that in a moment.
Like this thing has literally all on your opponent's turn, all your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking, trash a source from the bottom of their Digivolution source. So it kind of gives Hexablow that extra little kind of like defensive option as well. Is like the moment they attack, it's kind of they lose something. It's like GG easy. I love the chicken.
Terrible.
The chicken makes me happy.
What have we got next? So we kind of move into that. We'll talk about Examon towards the end, as it's the secret rare of the set. So we're going into yellow, and we've got the 4 Great Dragons deck. Now the 4 Great Dragons are you've got Azulongmon, which is blue, on play draw 2, and then if it was played by the memory, the option card Trial of the Great Dragons, gain 2 memory. And then on deletion, you can play a Trial of the Great Dragons. So Trial of the Great Dragons is the yellow option card, which this deck sort of revolves around. It's
like a memory boost.
Yeah, so you play it for 8, which is mental. So on play, you draw 1, mental. And then after the turn after, you can trigger its delay to play a card with 4 Great Dragons for for free, basically. It can't digivolve, and it will be deleted at the end of your opponent's turn, but you can play a lot of cool shit with it. So what can you play? You can play Azulongmon, which is the on-play draw 2, which gains you then memory. You can play Goldramon.
Magnadramon, don't forget the good boy.
Yeah, so you can play Goldramon, which doesn't do anything, but it's got a cool when attacking effect, and I believe if you stack some things under it, it gets rush. Basically, so the deck starts off yellow with the Agumon, the Patamon. Basically, all of the yellow cards that were printed are for this sort of deck. So you start off by digivolving normally up into Goldramon. And then when you start swinging with it, that's when you start to play the Trial of the Great Dragons to get the other guys out. So you've got Magnadramon, which is on play. Everything, all your opponent's Digimon get security attack -1. But if you play it with the Trial of the Great Dragons option, they get -2 instead. And then on deletion, it brings back the Trial of the Great Dragons. So that's what all of them do.
Yeah. They've basically all got like an on play that gets better if you've played it via Trial of the Great Dragons. And then they all have an on deletion because if you play them with Trial of the Great Dragons, they die at the end of the turn.
And you get the memory back. So once one's out, that's it.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. The security effect is also nutty. It just plays itself. So if you run 4 of them, and if one gets hit in security, you are laughing because you can trigger the delay on your next turn, which is insane. And then the last one is you've got Megidramon, which has been printed for the 85th time again, but it's still not that good. But this one's decent because it's based around the 4 Great Dragons deck, so it deletes a level 5 or lower. But if it was played by the Trial of the Great Dragons, it can delete a level 6 or lower instead. And then on deletion,
actually seems quite powerful.
Deletion, it plays the Trial of the 4 Great Dragons. I've just hyped myself up into wanting to play this deck actually, so I'm gonna give this.
It seems fun.
I'm gonna give this a go when it comes out because I might as well.
Yeah.
I like the tamer as well, Hina.
Yeah, so the
Kurihara.
Yeah, so start your turn. If your opponent has a Digimon in play, gain a memory, and then if it that's not the tamer, that's for Rock Dragon.
She's for freaking Dragon Link.
Yeah, she's for the D-Link deck, you big.
Yo, bro, I'm just dumb. Leave me alone.
Silly.
D-Links looks better than this deck though, Jason. So I'll let you off. It looks like hard ass from me.
The deck looks fairly good. I mean, it looks fun, but I think it's going to struggle to close the game out.
You cannot tell me, right, that a deck that involves playing an 8-cost option that does hee-haw the turn you play it is good.
What do you mean? It draws 1?
You can't convince me.
It draws 1? What are you talking about?
Pog, Cycle, 8-cost cantrip, Pog.
Yeah, man.
My issue with the deck is, see if you've not got the fucking option in your hand, you're fucked.
Yeah, oh no, you can get your Goldramon out and do nothing. Like your Goldramon is sort of your game finisher as well. So what you want to do is you want to digivolve up into it quickly. Unless you can go into like Azulongmon. Can you go into any of the other ones? No, you cannot.
So it seems like basically you want to go up the stack, right, one time for the one time with Goldramon, and you also want to have like timed it perfectly so that you've got all the other 4 Great Dragons in your trash.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but that seems way too specific to me. It seems like too much has to go right.
They've went with it being very, very thematic, which is cool. But unfortunately, we know what Digimon's like, and that's going to take a bit too long.
Yeah. I would have to agree there. Yeah.
What do we?
There is like, I mean, so there is like a lot of support in it. Like I was saying, like there's an actual line to go up here. Like the Agumon that gives you the inherited draw 1 when you play a Digimon with 4 Great Dragons. Cool, kind of mediocre consistency piece. And then like the other 2 level 4s, the Gatomon and the Vmon, are basically just like searchers.
Yeah.
But the Aero Vidramon looks pretty good because it gets around the fact that you do not have to play 8 memory for an option card that draws you a card the first time you play it. But you can play it for free when Digivolving.
It places it so it doesn't. You don't get the draw 1 effect, I'm afraid, which kind of ruins it for me.
Oh no! But are you joking? That's like the worst part of the effect.
Right? But opponent's turn, if you've got a 4 Great Dragons or the memory or the thing in play, it has blocker, which is kind of cool. And all of your Digimon with 4 Great Dragons and their traits get blocker. So if you can keep your Goldramon out and then you play out one of your guys with this effect, then you've essentially got a level 6 blocker for free that's going to die anyway, so you might as well block with it. Then you get the option card back. So if you can set up the option card loop, you should be in a decent spot, but it's consistent on you getting that in play as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah. It just feels like it's just going to be a lot of setup for nothing.
Yeah.
In a format that's extremely fast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a wee bit worrying in the sense of it's as I said, it's so much to set up in such little time, and if you don't see, let's be honest, if you don't see the option, the deck's just dead.
Exactly, and with no mulligans, it's a bit oof.
Yeah.
See, I can imagine a world where you can find the option card consistently, but it's just like, so like imagine you've only got 4 Aero Vidramon, so see if you don't see that and the option at once, then you're humped. Like,
don't get me wrong.
Literally, see, even if you see it and you have to hard play it, how does that not lose you the game?
Yeah, now you do have a searcher. You have the Patamon, which can search out the option card, which is quite good.
The Gatomon as well.
You've got, you do have the Gatomon as well. So there are ways to get it, but unfortunately it relies on you playing things, which probably passes your turn early game.
Yeah,
definitely.
But you need to get that option in play as soon as possible, essentially.
But then again, like
maybe I was just gonna say maybe like you can play it turn 1 and not get punished. But see if you play any turn after turn 1, you're humped.
Yeah, so you have to play it with the arrow effect.
They're gonna OTK you.
Yeah, you have to play it with the arrow effect, otherwise. Nope. Like, you can maybe put a reinforcing boost in there, which you probably should do anyway, so you can give yourself a bit more memory so it doesn't cost so much, but yeah, it's a bit... We'll see how it does, I suppose.
Definitely,
I don't think it'll be very competitive, to be honest.
No, but I think it might be fun.
Who I love the deck.
It might just be one of those...
cool deck.
Yeah.
It might just be one of those decks you bring it meme day kind of thing. Like...
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to green, we have Hydramon, which is it's not a good deck by itself, but it turns into the last piece of the puzzle that Bloom Lordmon needs to succeed. It is a great card, apart from the alt art, because the alternate art... Listen, guys, like, this is all of our... this is probably all of our pals listening to this the first time. Come on, guys, we've all seen the alternate art. What were they thinking?
Why did they let that go through, though?
They've turned it...
Even the normal art, though?
No, but the normal art's fine.
In the normal art.
The normal art is
it's
fine.
Still got the Hydrossi.
Yeah,
it's the fact that in the alt art it's gaping and gushing
and
at the same time.
and oozy and I need 4 of it. Anyway, so you've got the Hydramon deck. So basically, what Bloom Lordmon does, if you don't know, guys, is it as you go up the level, it basically summons a bunch of itself out, like the Sunflowmons, Vegemons, etc. So you basically swarm the board with suspended guys. And what the deck was missing was sort of its end turn. It usually would just pass the turn with like playing at a level 3 or something, but Hydramon has a when digivolving effect which lets you suspend one of your Digimon. It plays in with the level 3 Pomumon, which is when you suspend this Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, which is crazy good, and it's only an uncommon. It's absolutely mental. And then all turns when an opponent's Digimon is suspended, you gain 1 memory for each suspended plant, vegetation, or fairy that you've got in play. And then at the end of your turn...
it's so easy to go wide as well,
exactly.
And then you end up gaining like 4 memory or something.
And at the end of your turn, if you've got 2 or more suspended Digimon in play with those types, which you absolutely will do, you can just bounce one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck. It's like Nidhogg, but it's not hard to do. And it's like all of the things that it's got plays into it. It's got Parasaurmon, which is a dinosaur. I don't know why they made a good card for it, Parasaurmon, but you don't really play it. But you do play the Entmon. That's the level 5 that has an unsuspend ability. It's really good, but it plays in with like the Cherrymons and stuff. I genuinely think Bloom Lordmon is going to be a tier 1 deck.
It's taking the format now that they've nerfed Crossheart for sure.
My issue with the deck, and I don't get me wrong, I 100% agree it's going to be a tier 1 deck. I just think the deck suffers a lot to Death X-Mon.
I completely agree with you. So I think
especially in a format where every deck plays the Death X-Mon, at least one or two.
I think what you need to do is, if you know you're going to go up against someone with Death X-Mon, is you need to play a bit smarter. So maybe don't flood the board with level 4s and immediately suspend them. Flood them with level 4s and get up into a level 6 as quickly as you can. So even if they de-digivolve you, you're just going back down to a level 5.
Level 5,
It will set you back a bit, but it's better than a board wipe.
I was going to say, like, it's probably going to wipe most of the board, right? But see if you're ending on a Hydrossi and their Death X also passes turn. What happens if you just go back into the Hydrossi and then bounce to the bottom of the deck, the Death X one again?
The issue is if you know you're playing into a Death X-Mon, you don't build a big board.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, game 1, you build a big board.
Yeah, well,
like you've got to take the risk.
It doesn't seem possible for that deck to like play without building a big board.
But the way that would work with Hydramon versus Death X-Mon, if Death X-Mon is suspended, it'll get bounced before it can delete anything because it's turn player priority for effects. So as long as it's suspended and Hydrossi can do its thing, it'll get bounced to the bottom of the deck, where hopefully you shouldn't see it for the rest of the game, unless you're like me and you hit 3 insecurity in one match for some reason. That was fun.
Oh god.
But yeah, I think Bloom Lord
security best mechanic.
I think Bloom Lord Mon's going to be super good, and I'm really excited to play it.
It is. I would bet money that it's going to be the best deck in the format by a large margin.
Like,
I don't think it will be the best deck. It will be one of the tier 1 decks. I just don't think it will be the best deck, if that makes sense.
I think Examon, etc. might be best deck, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Callum, you want to talk about the D Brigades?
Always. I love D Brigade. I've played it literally since it was released. Jason's played some D Brigade as well, so we're knowledgeable about it on the pod. But yeah, I've been playing it since day one. I do love it. And the support squad is actually really interesting because, like I hinted at the start of the podcast, which feels like ages ago now, it's basically like a new way to play the deck. D Brigade's always been like Rookie Rush, plays lots of cheap, efficient cards, and swarms the board, swings, and it's fast and aggressive. But now we've got like an actual reason to evolve. So if we start off at the bottom, we've got a Missamon egg. Missamon used to just be 1k inheritable if you've got D Brigade on your turn, but now it gives you reboot. And this is really something that the deck needs now because the larger D Brigade cards, when they swing into security, they can get attacked over pretty easily, so that protects them when they bounce back.
Yep.
Really good synergy with the new Seals Dramon they're printing, which is just 2 to evolve into, and it's a 4k jammer. It's given me V-Dramon, X-V-Dramon vibes from the X-Vmon even, from EX1. It's just like a cheap to evolve into jammer, and it's got an even better inherited. It's inherited as your turn once per turn. When you play another Digimon with D Brigade, that Digimon gains Rush. And the deck has loads of ways to spam out D Brigades and Commandramons. So it's a really good effect. The base Commandramon we get now is just a 3-cost decoy for D Brigade. So that's going to be insane at protecting your larger D Brigade Digimon.
That was always the issue, right?
Now it's going to be a massive issue because, like I say, you've got a big tall stack. It's awesome that you can just have this little guy take the hit. I'll need to think of a new name for him because I've always called the different Commandramon by rank. There's like the privates used to be the one that had the on deletion that plays a Commandramon from the top of the deck. But this guy seems like the new private. Yeah, he seems like he's worse than the private. He is exactly like a kamikaze. He's on the bloody Suicide Squad. He's just going to take the fall for the big guys, for the bosses, just like the real military. Anyway, there's like a good synergy between the new Seals Dramon and the new Tank Dramon we've got. The new Tank Dramon is really good. That might be the best card we got for D Brigade. It's when evolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less with D Brigade in its traits among them without paying its costs and trash the remaining ones. So not only are we getting a cheap D Brigade out, pretty much guaranteed, we're also going to be feeling the trash for our Dark Dramons, which is great.
Yeah.
And it also has synergy with the Seals Dramon. you're probably only going to play Seals Dramon as the level 4 in the deck, maybe a Guard Dramon or something like that. But you're pretty much always, when you get this evolution effect off, you're going to prop the Seals Dramon effect and give it Rush as well. So you're basically getting an extra free attack.
Would you still play like the Grumble?
Definitely, man, because it's such an aggressive deck, you're pretty much like really need it. And it's not like an OTK deck where you're going to swing for the full stack in one turn. You're going to be chipping away. So I feel like the extra push is going to be necessary.
Because you'll still 100% play Izzy in the deck, because Izzy's just by far the best black tamer in my opinion.
Well, this is the thing, man. I've always been a bit of an Izzy hater, to be honest with you.
What?
Jen, man, like, see the fact that all the other 4-cost tamers from the original sets, they've all got like a really good inheritable apart from Izzy. I know you can play him for free, right, which is pretty good, but sometimes that doesn't even really matter, to be honest. I'd rather pay the 1 memory extra and have a good effect.
The reason I like him, and I'm not going to lie, is literally just because he's a free cost memory setter, which is insane. And then on top of that, he just sits there and does nothing as soon as you've played him. But I see sometimes when I play other decks and I've got like the hybrid in hand, and it might not get me the game. And I'm like, I kind of need a hybrid, but then if I do that, I lose my memory tamer, but I'll also lose so much advantage from all these like the effects that it gives to my board, etc. Whereas Izzy's just a free cost, he'll just stand there and I will happily grumble over him, even if it's not even to win the game, it's just to get more like kind of field advantage, because I don't ever mind, like, if my opponent's got a memory setter, I really don't mind just playing an Izzy for putting the Izzy down, and then there we go. I'm kind of set up again.
That's a good point. I guess you're basically losing less memory that way, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, it depends on the meta, man, but I feel like this might be the return of Izzy and Joe. Like, Izzy and Joe
could be
insane. Like, I mean, against the Hydrussi, for example, god damn, you're going to be getting 2 memory every turn. And I'll be honest, I'm quite a memory setter hater at the minute. Like, unless a tamer comes with like a really, really good extra effect, I don't think a memory tamer is actually worth its salt these days.
They're definitely not as important as they used to be. But with that argument comes the memory starving argument, that if you don't play one and you keep getting starved, you're just going to lose every time.
This is true.
I think it's better to have and not need than to need and not have.
Don't get me wrong, there's games where I'm sitting with memory tamers in my hand and I'm like, I have no reason, like, if my opponent isn't sitting there choking and it's in my hand, 9 times out of 10 I just keep it in hand. I'm like, I don't want to waste my memory at this point to use it. If my opponent is like memory choking me, the moment I get one, I'm slapping it down.
Also, one of the worst feelings in the game is playing a memory tamer and then they immediately hit one in your security.
It's so annoying.
Or you play Izzy and then they go, lol, I play Davis, so now nobody can choke lol and I drew a card and they're like, oh, this stinks. But it's like, I just think it's so annoying, especially seeing control decks now. See, if people love like their Mackies and Black War Greymon, or like the Analog Youth or cards like that, you know. But see the cheaper tamers as well. I'm just like, you're feeling Death X so hard here.
Yeah.
Like, you can play around Death X, but see when you've got 2 or 3 tamers on the board, there's like not a single board in existence that can play around it properly.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. But I don't know what I'll play, man. I'll probably mess around with Izzy and Joe a bit. I don't think Ty's that good in this deck either, because you've not really got like any blockers or any reason to have them have higher attacks. And like we say, they're all going to reboot anyway now, so they can't attack over them.
We're in EX3 meta until the end of January, by which point the World Championships will have happened. So, you know, we never know.
I mean, I think D-Brigade's going to be one of the top tier decks.
I do think that as well.
I think the Rookie Rush engine is just so strong.
I'm not a D Brigade player myself, but I do really like the deck, and I think that this sort of support will cement it as a constant sort of top tier deck. It's been doing really well the last few sets, especially with Death X, but this will 100% top it up with it. Like, it gets rid of your old Dark Dramon and puts in the new one and stuff like that.
Well, you tend to run both.
Yeah, you run both
because they kind of fulfill different, you know.
But it means
purposes.
You've got the traditional Digivolution route available to you as well.
Aye, it's good. To me, the issue I have with the deck is it's kind of like it's not full aggro anymore. It's not just like Rookie Rush. It's quite like a different style of deck. You're getting like value going up the line instead. It's probably still better, but you could even still play the old D Brigade just with more Commandramon now.
Yeah.
Or just with I think there might even be like a world where you don't want to play the new Dark Dramon and you end your line at the new Tank Dramon. Because I don't know how excited I am about the new Dark Dramon. It's basically it's a 5-cost 12k level 6. And when you would Digivolve into it, you can return up to 5 D Brigade in your trash to the top of your deck to reduce the Digivolution cost by 1 for each. So it's quite nice that you could go into it potentially for 0. And then there's also a world where you can go into your a level 7 top end, like a Zwart Defeat or a Omnimon Zwart as well, and get a lot of good value. But its other effect is once per turn, when you play another Digimon with D Brigade, you can delete an opponent's Digimon with a play cost lower than or equal to the play cost of the Digimon you've played, and you unsuspend it. So this is another issue I have, right? So the unsuspend is great value. The other part of the effect, I don't know how much value that actually is.
Well, I think you're going to be surprised because I know we always end up going back to like Hydro Pussy and all that stuff, right? But
are we just straight Hydro Pussy, not Hydrosy, not anything, just Hydro Pussy?
Hydro Pussy, it's funny.
Like, but we go straight back to like Bloomlord and that they have a high tendency of always having at least a level 3 on the board.
Yes,
and a lot of their guys only cost like 3 or 2. So like in that matchup, that and the new Dark Dramons is just so much free value. It's unreal. Killing something, unsuspending to then attack again as well. Like that's like nutty in comparison.
My big issue with it is see to get the unsuspend. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Actually, I was about to say to get the unsuspend, you're going to have to attack, evolve into it. But you can evolve into it, then attack. Get the Tank Dramon inheritable, which is when one of your Digimon with D Brigade illustrates attacks. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, and you can play a Command Dramon for free and trash the remaining. A bit annoyed that it's top 2, but it doesn't matter with the Dark Dramon because you're returning them anyway. Which is
the
good.
Interesting fact is if you've went into a Dark Dramon from that and using its effect, you're pretty much guaranteed to get call something from it, which is really, really good.
Which then pops something as well.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
So moving on to Purple. Purple's a weird
though,
one.
Adam,
yes.
Not sure how I feel about D Brigade, man, this set. I feel like it'll be like good competitive. Don't think it's going to be like a top meta contender, honestly.
I don't know. I think we'll see.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
So moving on to Purple. Purple's a weird one this set because it feels very much like how almost all of it is an afterthought to Imperial. So you've got the Imperial Dramon lineup, which is a purple-red. When Digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon apart from one that they choose and then Blitz. Super strong. It gets a when attacking of gain a +1 KD, plus 2 KDP, and then it can Digivolve into the secret rare Imperial Dramon Fighter mode, which does... you can return the Imperial that's in the stack so you don't activate options, so it's a delicate plan. And then on deletion, it plays a Wormmon and Vmon out to start the cycle again. Half of this support is red, so you've got the Vmon line, you've got Flame Dramon, Pyle Dramon, and then half of it's purple with Wormmon, Galeamon, Shadramon, and Dino Beamon. It feels very much that they have packaged a brand new Imperial Dramon Evil version, like it's the virus type that you see in the Digimon Tri series that appears all of twice and never again. It's
really? I didn't even know
it's a really cool Digimon, and I feel like they've made up for that by going, here's the rest of the purple stuff, it's garbage. Like they've went, here's a Galeamon line, in preparation for the new purple Chaos Gallantmon or something, but that's not out yet.
Well, I mean,
and also
this,
they've got
this Guilmon line is really good, man.
It's really good, I agree, but it feels very random strong. When the Megidramon that it goes into does not have any wind digivolving effects and is also not part of the same deck.
I think what you're going to find. No, this is me just because I love Guilmon, so I've kind of looked a little bit into it. Is I actually think this is going to bring back, not like bring back like fully, just make it a little bit better. Old Chaos Gallant.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Because a lot of the time, like all these cards that all your War Growlmon, all that stuff, they're actually so good. And it also most of them fill up the trash as well. So you've still got the whole, you can do the whole idea of you can play like the mill deck of the mill kind of side of it with Megadramon and all that stuff, and you can like old Megadramon and mill stuff, etc.
Yeah.
Or you can just like or you can play that Chaos Gallant kind of just like aggression build, which is kind of sick. As well as the fact like War Growlmon, like if we go into it, is it digivolves for free on top of a Growlmon, right? That's what you kind of normally want it to do anyway. But when digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of both players' deck. Then if either player has 5 or more cards in their trash, you play a Guilmon or a Takuto from your hand or trash without paying its cost.
The Takuto against splits and stuff. Yeah, it's
Takuto.
Takuto.
Man, it's Takuto. I know. Right, but I messed it up. Okay,
continue. It was funny, like, to be fair. I'll start just calling them that.
So the Growlmon line is fine, even though there's not a level 6 to back it up. But then they've went, oh fuck, we need more cards. So they've put a shit Dark Tyrannomon in there, and then an EX Tyrannomon, which I am positive is that is not its Japanese name, because there is no puppet Tyrannomon. I'm positive about that. Let me check that just now.
He does have a name, man, but I can't remember what it is. I want to say it's called Puppet Tyrannomon.
I think you guys are just hating on the Tyrannomon.
Oh no, no, sorry,
absolutely not.
EX
Tyrannomon. I will be playing that in BT.
No, EX Tyrannomon is a puppet Digimon. You look at it and it's a puppet Tyrannomon with a dude inside, but then you look at the card art and it just looks like a Monzimon. It's like it's a bit odd.
Really so he's got like a dinosaur head. He looks like a wee. I do find it laughable that he's a level 5, mind you. But he's like cut for the same cloth as like Digitamamon, who's in the background of the art, where he's like got some scary monsters, very powerful. Inside of
so it's like it feels like they just shat on purple a wee bit there.
Can we just talk about X Tyrannomon's effects of it's got blocker all turns, where this Digimon has no Digivolution cards, it can't attack or block?
Yeah, so it stops you from. So like it's so, but like of all the reasons to hard cast a blocker, this is not one of them. Like, why would they give it that? What's the matter with it?
No, but guys, you can evolve into it for 2 if Tiger's on the field. Let's go.
Oh, great.
2 cost Digivolution blocker, 0 inherited, 9k DP.
So bad.
Massive.
Even if it maybe gave
worse,
blocker inherited, so fair enough, but it doesn't. So it's like it's so good. Oh yeah, on deletion, suspend really one of your opponent's Digimon. Do you mean the Digimon that's just suspended itself to delete your Digimon? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And why is there a Jawa really from Star Wars in the background of it as well?
It's essentially Dark
Tyrannomon.
It's got
fucking... Oh no,
that's not a Jawa. That's fucking EX Tyrannomon in the background.
So it is.
I thought it was it looks like a Jawa from Star Wars. What the fuck? What the hell?
And look at that at an angle to see it.
Yeah.
Dark Tyrannomon essentially just has
shout out to Dylan. What the hell?
What the hell?
And then we've talked about Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, which is one of the secrets of the box, but the big boy, the deck, the thing that the entire booster is based around is Examon, which is one of the Royal Knights. It's one of the last Royal Knights that we've seen printed, and it's cracked as fuck. It's a
nutty card.
It is a Digi. What's it called? A Jogress Digivolution, DNA Digivolution card. It uses the green and blue support of the Break Dramon, the Ground Dramons, Core Dramons, Slayer Dramons, and basically it just starts going mental. If you get an Examon out, you've won the game. You get to start popping your guys out, destroying things. Whenever it becomes suspended, it unsuspends and you suspend one of your opponent's guys. So it's basically like the old Imperial Dramon, except it's not got a sort of a cost behind it, although that Imperial always fulfilled that cost. But like the break Dramons and stuff do things as well. Like all turns when this Digimon becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then it can Jogress again. It is just crazy. But the problem with it is that it's a 4-of. You run 4 of them in the deck, and you're not even guaranteed to pull one from the booster box.
Yeah.
Which is so shite.
It's a bit worrying. For the simple fact of, like, the deck's, like, really cool. I love the concept of it. I don't know what it's going to do in the meta. I haven't really seen much, like I've not really looked into Examon a lot, but I feel like it might end up being, like, an expensive deck, like what Machine Dramon was like with EX1.
Yeah,
because Machine Dramon was short printed to all hell, and it was just a bit of a disaster. So I'm a little bit worried that maybe it's going to cost a bit too much, and that's going to put kind of people off building it.
Yep.
Which is kind of it's an issue.
But like
from what I've seen as well, it's actually not ridiculously strong right now. Like, it's a pretty good competitive deck. But from what I've seen, it might not actually break tier 1 till next set, at least from the Japanese results I've looked at.
The problem with it is that, like we've said a few times, Japan, Jesus Christ, the Japan format is a best of 1. Now, best of 1 is inherently fine, but it comes with a reduced time limit. So 35 minutes is a hard enough game, like, to build up to an Examon. But if you get that Examon out, you've pretty much won the game, because it's got the sort of a brand new effect that as long as it's Jogressed and you've got the Slayer Dramon, etc. underneath it, at the start of your opponent's main phase, you can force one of their Digimon to attack the Examon. Oh no, they must attack. Crazy. They must attack with one of their Digimon, so it doesn't have to attack Examon.
You can also block, remember, as well, because basically the deck is the same as, like, a kind of mirrored effects, where the green level 4 Codramon and the green level 5 Ground Dramon both give it blocker inherently.
And as soon as
the blue sets give them evade instead of blocker.
Yeah, and as soon as it suspends itself, it unsuspends and suspends one of your guys. Like, it's mental. It's really strong.
It is a crazy lockdown, forcing them to swing in, blocking it. Then even if they're going to, like, even if they're higher DP than you, you can just evade it.
Yep.
And then you can suspend one of their other Digimon as well. It's like a 2 Digimon floodgate at the same time.
Evade is the new mechanic introduced in EX3, which is basically if you play like a Gaia Force or a deletion effect, you can essentially block it by suspending your guy, and it prevents the deletion. It's all right. It means that you can't. Your opponent could then swing over you, but if they're Gaia forcing you, that's probably not going to happen. But it is pretty good. And once again, I know you are a fan of it, Jason, but they keep giving all the shit to blue, and it's it's horrendous. The blue bias is so real, and I hate it.
Yo, you just hating on it. Join us. The blue supremacy.
We hate you because we hate you. It's true.
Yeah.
But Black be out here staying winning because
Black has been
better than ever.
Black has been begging for crumbs for a full 12 sets now.
Well, all I'm saying is Black's most meta-relevant deck immediately got banned.
Yeah.
So we hate to see it. But
it gets It gets a shit ton of new support next set, which we will talk about in a future episode. But like Black War, all that sort of stuff Black's gonna be eating good.
I refuse to call Black War Greymon a black deck, even though it's like predominantly black. The first half is black. I'm like, this is a red deck, man. You can't pretend it's a black deck.
So as we begin to sort of wrap up the episode, we'll talk briefly about the ban list that's coming into effect with EX3.
Yes.
So
we're eating good.
For those that aren't aware, the new ban list, let me just get the I've pulled up the errata cards, of which there are far too many. The restricted card announcement. So what are we getting limited? So Calling from Darkness, a purple option. has been limited to one, even though the deck that primarily plays it has multiple ways to get option backs and only plays one. So it's an interesting choice, that's for sure. You've got Sunrise Buster being limited.
Agreed. I agreed on that one.
Yeah. You've got Sunrise Buster being limited to one, which is super strong and definitely needs it.
Yep, 100%.
You've got Doru Greymon being limited to one, which is the security attacking X antibody. Nobody plays Alphamon anymore, so I understand why they hit this, because they just hate Alphamon, apparently. I'm an Alphamon fan, but I don't like the deck that much.
To be fair, the reason nobody plays it is because we've seen this band coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And you've seen it. Did any of you see the Lat AM? I think it was the DC one in Lat AM where Alphamon got 50% of the top cut.
Do you mean Latin America as Latam, not Lat AM?
Lat AM, mate. It's Lat AM, I thought. Yeah, but the other half of Latin America is called Lat PM, is it not? Where it's always night.
Yeah, they had quite a lot of alpha stuff as well. And what else? Yeah. Oh yeah, Shoutmon Cross 4 being limited to one.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby. Stay winning.
I absolutely think that limiting this card was a good idea in a future set, but maybe not before the deck's been out for one set. Like, what a fuck you to Shoutmon players.
There's such a lot to talk about with this.
So I agree in the sense of maybe the restriction maybe should have came out and given it a few more kind of tournaments to see how it was doing. But at the same time, I understand why they've done it so quickly in the sense of, like, if you look at the Japanese meta, like, people were quitting the game and stores were having to put in like custom ban lists to get rid of Cross 4. And I've been messing about with the deck personally, and I can tell you this: the deck is not dead at all. Like 100%, it's still strong as fuck, bro.
And then all the sweats who were out here like buying up all the X4s on like release week so that they could stomp with the first tier 0 deck of the game, all that.
Yeah.
No, my £5 I spent on my X4s has been wasted. No. I'm like, sorry, gang, but your deck's still playable. If anything, it's like a healthy thing for your deck, because now you're not the boogeyman in the format that everybody's like hard countering.
Yeah, like I think though that I my problem with it is not that they banned this card. Makes total sense to me. But I think it sets a dangerous... I say dangerous like the fucking secret servers are going to show up. I think it sets a weird precedent that they start banning cards in the English format based on the Japanese meta, which is a completely different format. Like, they've got cards, that we don't...
I really do. I'll be honest, like, I'm sick of... Well, it is true that they do have some different cards. Literally, I think it's just the security rookies, but they do make a big impact. But, like... See, people keep talking about how the Japanese meta is different to us. It is. But is it because of the one game rounds? Or is it just because they play different stuff? Japanese players have different styles to...
It could be. It genuinely could be, but I think we'd be a fool to ignore the fact that their best of 1 35-minute rounds isn't at least some factor into the decks that win, because it's easy to rush down your opponent in one game, but it's hard to do it in a best 2 out of 3 when they've cottoned on to what you're playing and play around.
But it does bring surprise factor to your deck.
Yeah.
I think personally what they should have done is
wait.
They probably should have either waited or like hit the deck before the set came out.
Yeah.
Because I know for America now, like, we were complaining about when they hit it, etc. They hit it the same day America's like boxes dropped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've had it for at least a month. America have only had it for like 2 weeks. 90%, probably 90% of them haven't even played with it at 4 yet, because of like, what's the actual point?
Yeah. I want to say the window, Jason, was maybe within like a week or something like that of it being out, because I did play in a couple of American tournaments where people were playing it before the ban list was out.
They had sneaks and all that stuff, so they had like...
also got... it was definitely out for like at least a week, I can say that, but even a week is a bit ridiculous in it for people like going full in on a deck and then going, shit, mate,
it's also it also feels weird. I don't know too much about business, to be perfectly honest, but making a set themed around a card or a set of cards, making it hyped up and then hitting it after the consumers have bought the product, I think that's a surefire way to make sure that you do not get them back as consumers for the next set. So it feels weird.
It was 100% a bad move from
Bandai.
From their side. Yeah, Bandai. I personally thought they were going to actually hit it before the set came out.
I thought they were going to hit it when BT11 dropped.
Same.
Do you know what? Yeah, I thought if it doesn't get hit before the set drops, then the chances are we're going to get quite a few like tournaments going with it, and by the time like BT11 drops or something, then they'll either do that, or even by the time like just like halfway through, maybe like EX3 and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Because when you look at the previously limited cards, right, they banned Eismon before after we'd had it for a while, because every single person went, this is toxic for them to be able to draw 85 cards and then get 4 Eismon out in one turn. That's horrible. And they banned Savior Huckmon upon the release of BT8 because of Chimeramon, which is totally fair enough. They then banned, they limited Ice Wall, which absolutely needed it. They done reinforcing memory boost, which was absolutely fair. Mega Digimon Fusion, they saw the effect of what the Japanese meta had with, going into Susanomon for a 1 cost and went, that's fair enough. We don't want that. They banned it before even. No, it had been out for a while because it was used in Lilithloop. Totally
We never got the Susano Megadramon. Not Megadramon, what the hell? Mega Digimon Fusion. We didn't get that because they hit it before that set dropped.
Yeah.
But like,
thank the good Lord.
I 100% just expected them, because literally the whole Japanese player base were literally crying for Bandai, please get rid of this card because it is killing the game. And I totally agree, because let's be honest, you give your opponent 4 if they've got if they've got the setup, which 90% of the time they always have it.
I've got a story.
2 checks. Like, it doesn't matter how much security you have; it's just gonna fucking beat your ass down.
Yeah. So funny story. I actually got in my second game against it. I got X4'd 3 times on turn 2, and I set my opponent to 2 memory.
It's just so nutty. Like,
3 times, bro. He played 1, 2, 3. Bloody played another one, drew another 3. Played another one, drew another 3. I was like, calm down, man.
Oh, bro.
Honestly, I was so angry. I was sitting there seething, and it's so ridiculous because, like, as soon as you play 1, you've got enough resources for the rest of the game. Like, playing a guy for 1 and swinging and like drawing 3 cards is just absolutely nuts. Like even just for 1, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who printed this, man? How did they not think about this before they printed it?
They were on something. They must have been, man. Holy shit.
It's insane. It's absolutely bonkers. It's just weird though as well. Like you say, I don't know why they didn't see it coming. I'm always in my head going, are Bandai absolutely like marketing business wizards and they're manipulating us on another level?
No, I don't think so.
Do they just like not know what the hell they're doing and they're like, oh crap, we forgot to ban X4, shove it out 1 week after the American release.
Yeah,
they seen this coming. They had all the information, this was going to happen, and they didn't do anything about it till a weird window.
Yeah, and like we give Bandai a lot of flack, and to be rightfully fair, they deserve it for the TCG Plus app because they rushed it out. And for a lot of the things that they're doing wrong, but they're also providing a really good service and like a TCG. And we need to remember that this TCG for them is not their priority, if that makes sense. Like they are 100%. They are one half, they are a toy company, and then they are a video game company. The TCG is just a product of one of their many IPs. So, and Digimon isn't even it is a very well-known nostalgic and it's one of their best-selling products. But when you compare it to the things like Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh, which are
it's just pocket money.
Yeah, it's just pocket money. But Pokemon, their biggest seller is their TCG. They make millions on it a year. Yu-Gi-Oh is the same, and Magic is the same. Those three brands can go for a while without anything. But for Bandai, this isn't their main thing, and they've got other card games. One Piece is coming out. Dragon Ball has been out for a while. Like, we give them shit, and I genuinely think that we need to continue to give them shit because they do actually listen to us. It just takes them a while to do so.
Bandai is like the company itself. I totally agree with you, Adam. Is the fact that, you know, it's a company that you know, they've got other things that are their biggest priority. The card game is a side project. It was literally just pocket money for them to fund probably bigger and better things. But you know what? See everything that they give us. Like I come from different card games as well.
So do I.
And some of those card games, I maybe got one or two like regionals a year, which is I'm a competitive person, and there was no other tournaments going.
Yeah.
And this, one of their that was their main focus in the business was their card game, and they just weren't giving it out. With Bandai, it's not even their main focus, and yet they're giving us tournaments every single essential week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What has been good.
We're getting great promos as well. Right, I've played the Pokemon TCG for the past 10 years or so, and like their promos have always been top tier, great, really good promos. You got them consistently. Some of the promos were playable, some of them weren't, and that's kind of like, yeah, fair enough, it is for kids as well. But then during COVID, etc., they stopped. There's not been any promos, there's not been any sort of major events throughout COVID. They've started doing regionals and stuff, pardon me, again, but local events haven't come back. But Bandai launched this card game, and the height of COVID, it immediately sold out and has been popular to this day, to the point where this like little side project of Bandai's has become the 4th best selling TCG of all time within 2 years. Maybe not of all time, but currently, like, ongoing.
It's currently fourth most popular, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 4th most popular behind the big 3, and the big 3 are never going to get shunted. Magic the Gathering has died a long time ago, but it still consistently sells.
It will never not sell Magic. That's
because it's got the brand, etc. So I think Bandai have done super well, to be honest.
Absolutely, and like we both do, we give them a lot of shit, right? But they support the game very well, I think, over here. And this is not even like one of their primary territories. Like it doesn't seem like they're focused on the UK or Europe at all. But they're still giving us a lot of support compared to like America and Japan, where that's their biggest 2 markets. So like, you can't really complain about that.
I will be honest about one thing that does annoy me. Now, obviously, I'm a super competitive guy, so I love tournaments, etc. I do not like the favoritism towards America than like Europe.
Yeah.
And the reason I say this is see the store championships and the regionals.
Yep.
They've got they've got a reason to win, because they get a big tournament at the end for people that qualify. What do we get?
So
we win it. Oh, we won it.
No. We do. Listen up. We get the World Championships for free because we don't have a big player base. We get automatic entry if we want to play in it, because North America is so big, they have to limit the amount of players that can attend it. But so there's the North American World Championships, which are happening in January. There's the Europe Championships, World Championships, that are happening in January, and then there's the Japanese ones as well. And then what happens is that the winners of all of those go into the Grand World Finals, which is it's a very like secluded, not a lot of people event for the ultimate sort of prize, etc. But we absolutely 100% get that, because I will be judging at it.
I was going to say this secret Bandai knowledge, Adam, because I've not heard this anywhere.
No, we are getting a European World Championships that should be held in January. This is just to my knowledge. It might change. I might have been told false information, but I'm pretty sure that is what's happening.
See, but even
can we also get a Nats invite as well, because we're greedy and we would like a Nats invite for winning the store championship?
I don't know, maybe this is just me, right? But even if we do get Worlds, it just won't mean anything to me, because like I if I wanted to go to Worlds, I want to earn that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like sure, we've not got a massive like kind of base, but what's stopping them? Like all the other card games and that, what's stopping them from just putting everyone together?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
There's a fair few things like that. I agree. Where like they could implement like a point system or something where your
like
results get you exactly. So something like that. Or they could. The other thing I think they need to start doing is see the promos for your store tournaments. They need to make them actually good because they keep reprinting unplayed cards, and like with alt arts that aren't even like foiled or anything.
Yeah.
Like see the cards you get for participation at your locals, they're so ass.
Yeah, like
in
they should
every
all be
pack, there's normally,
holos
like,
at least.
one chase. Aye, definitely. Because they would definitely be like more sought after then, as opposed to just like a normal card stock alt art. The alt arts are normally really good, don't get me wrong, but people aren't asked about them that much unless they're
like here, would you like a non-foil alternate art of a blocker that's never seen play? Like, yeah, it's a bit odd.
I reprint Coelamon because that'll be played.
See, like all your cards that are actually used, I wish they just altered them out, because do you know how annoying it is?
We'd pay for
a match rarity deck and having this one common in your deck, and you can't get any higher rarity, and you're like, I need it shiny.
Hidden potential discovered is a great example.
There's lots of cards that haven't had reprints that they could totally reprint. Like, see, for example, you're talking about, Jason, all the blue stuff with the play from sources. Kaiser Nail hasn't been reprinted, and that's in the blue structure deck.
This is very true. This is a very kind of like, that's a big part of like some of the strategies. Even Machine Dramon sees more play from it than any other deck. But like with this deck coming out,
open at some point, man.
Yeah, but with this deck coming out for blue and EX3, like you can play Kaiser Nail. I don't know if I would play Kaiser Nail, but it's there, and it's more like a kind of extension to the deck. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But the issue is, it was printed in the first blue starter deck that's out of stock everywhere, and then people are just going to start doing what they did with like the Holy Flames and start trying to
gouge prices
them for like You know what I mean? Like it's just,
and it'll be Bandai's fault.
It's just frustrating at times. Let's be honest, it's just very frustrating as a player.
Yeah, the secondary market is really interesting to me. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy watching the prices of cards going up and down. Like it's like a predictable stock market. Predictable stock market. It's really fun and interesting.
It's why a lot of people play, is that they can. Now, I am not a smart person. I cannot predict card prices apart from like Death X's or like really good ones. So like I don't know what to hold on to. I buy Pokemon sealed product because I know that will go up in value. But like Digimon, hadn't got a clue. So like when these cards just start like randomly trending, it's crazy. Like see the promo Allforce Vidramon, the big fat chunky one, that was absolutely terrible because it is now
the Zero.
Yeah, the Zero one, because
like it is loop, essentially.
Yeah, because it is now slightly playable come BT12 or BT11. I think it's BT12. The deck,
BT11,
the card shot up in value from 2 pence to £1, and then back down to 5 pence when everyone else went, no, this card sucks. So it's really amusing.
Exactly, yeah. The people have found out that the deck, or at least the loop version of the deck, is pretty ass.
Yeah,
so the cards in the bin again.
Yeah. The deck, like, it's weird. I like to test like sets coming out, but I also don't at the same time, because I like to be like surprised.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I went from testing a lot of upcoming. I went from testing a lot of upcoming sets on like Tabletop Simulator and stuff like that. But what I found was that when the sets came out, I had played all of the decks already, so I was like bored immediately.
You were on to the new set as well, and you were testing that because you had gave up. That's the main reason I stopped.
Yeah, so I prefer just to play what comes out, stuff like that. But that sounds pretty good to me for our first episode, guys.
Yeah, it was good.
So, what's a good one? We've got a question for you. We're talking about alt arts. Let us know what alt arts you would like to see. Like, if you could have a card that receives an alt art, what would it be, and how expensive do you think it would be?
That's a good question.
For me, what would I like to see get an alt art? Lord Nightmon already has one. You know, I'm going to pick Hydramon that makes it not look like a fucking vagina, because I'm going to alt it. I'm going to alt it for the Bloom Lordmon deck 100%, and it's really cringy to look at. And it would cost
really cool.
£1 million. No, it would cost probably like 20 quid or something.
Every time I see that card, I just think, damn, I should call her.
What about you, Cobb? What alt art would you like to see?
Mate, you know how it is. I love Etamon, favourite Digimon of all time. I would like to see a reprint of literally any Digimon card foiled would be good. Because the man has 0 foiled cards right now. He's got 1 rare, and it was back in the day where they used to give them a gold trim.
Shitty gold border,
and he's got like shitty gold border, and then he's getting 2 new commons, or like a common and an uncommon. So he's literally had 1 rare with a shitty gold border, and the rest of his cards have been common and uncommon. So I'd like to see a freaking Etamon with an alt art and a really shiny, cool, epic guy. And I'm still hoping that we're going to get a secret there, King Etamon someday. Someday.
But not for a while.
One of these days, bro.
What about you? What about you, Jason? What would you like?
See, that's a good question, to be honest with you. And honestly, so the very first deck, believe it or not, so I love my blue decks. People will eventually learn this about me. And do you know what cards? There's 2 cards. Do you know what? I'm going to fucking say 2, right?
What the hell?
Hexablow and a Zulongmon. What the fuck, Bandai? Come on, bro.
I think I agree with you there. The Hexablow dominated and it never got an alt art, not even like a tournament pack.
Bro, it deserved it. Like, all I got was a shitty Digifest stamp on it.
Was Hexablow not an SR?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah!
Was this before they gave SRs alt arts?
No!
It came out in set 4. Was it set 4 it came out, or set 5?
You got absolutely scammed.
Set 5, and then set 6 came Azulomon, and there were 2. Like, I loved that deck. That's the reason I brought it up earlier on as well. Hexablow is because it's one of my favourite decks. But I just didn't understand why an SR didn't get the alt art treatment.
And like,
that's ridiculous.
Set 5. It was set 5 Battle of Omni. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, like they were far too busy giving Omnimon 8,000 alt arts.
Get rigged, bro. There's 20 alt arts in that set.
I'm bringing up a controversial opinion here. I think all of the alt arts from Battle of Omni fucking suck. I don't like any of them.
They're so cool. They're so cool.
All of them are like one half of a picture. I don't want one half of a picture. I want the full picture. I'm not going to play an Omnimon next to a Chaos Gallantmon.
The dumb thing about it for me is that they printed the same card like 3 or 4 times in some cases with alts. That was dumb. It should have been like,
what do you mean, Diaboromon?
One alt art split down the middle. They had bloody Blitz Omni. Blitz Omni's got friggin' like 3 or 4 alt arts.
Yep.
Pretty sure Zwart defeats the same. He's got like 2 or 3.
No, he's just got 1. When's the set?
Just normal Omnimon.
He's got at least 2.
Oh, Zwart.
Oh, so you're talking about Zwart.
Sorry, not defeat. Yeah. Sorry, not Zwart.
Yeah, Zwart has 2.
Defeat has 1. Mate, why the fuck did Armageddonmon get 1 and Hexablow didn't? Like, let's just be real for a second.
Armageddonmon is bigger than Hexablow, to be fair. I feel like I'd be rioting more if Armageddonmon.
I still don't know what Hexablowmon is from, to be fair, but I think it did deserve an alt art. Maybe in a future set when they haven't printed 8,000 Omnimons, we'll get a Hexablowmon alt art.
Nice.
But don't forget, Jason, they did give an alt art to the promo Diaboromon alongside the Digifest Diaboromon, alongside the Judge Stamped Diaboromon, alongside the Tournament Pack 1 Diaboromon, alongside the fucking some other alt art that is probably got somewhere else.
Well, the good news is this new one's got a nice black border, so we can all get hyped for the new promo Diaboromon.
Yummy.
Diaboromon's got an event pack as well.
Yeah, it got but the alternate arted it as well. It was like, what the fuck?
I just want Hexablow. Yo, can we just talk about...
No, we can't. We're wrapping up the episode.
Save it for the next one. Guys, like and subscribe, and you can hear what Jason wanted to talk about in the next
join our Patreon!
For y'all that don't know
what you thought Jason wanted to talk about at the end of the episode.
Jason likes to talk, guys, but we will leave it there. Have we got any plugs? I am Adam. You can find me over at Scott's TCG on YouTube, and I'm also known as Red Scar on Twitter. What about you guys?
You can find me on YouTube, guys, at COB, COB Cards. We've got one YouTube video currently on Digimon. It is a Pulse 1 deck profile. Saw some good success at the start of the format. So check it out. I'm also at the OG Big C on Twitter if you'd like to follow me. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Anything from you, Jason?
Hi, my name is Jason, and I don't have any socials yet.
Yeah, but he will for the next time.
Respect.
Thank you very much for listening, folks. Please let us know how we done, and if you want us to continue it. If you don't, we're going to do it anyway because we need to. But yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you later.